This is the single biggest mistake people do when they buy property. They put two people on the one title. I'm going to show you how to buy unlimited properties instead of doing it like this. Now let's assume each person has a $400,000 borrowing capacity and they both chip in to get a $600,000 loan on this property. What that means is that each person A, is responsible for $600,000 in debt, and person B is also responsible for $600,000. So technically they have a $1.2 million liability between them. Now person A has zero serviceability left. They cannot buy any more properties by themselves. And the same goes with person B. They cannot buy any more properties by themselves. What it does mean though is you've got an $800,000 combined serviceability or borrowing capacity between them, which means between them they could potentially go out and get another $200,000 loan. You're not going to be buying much of a property for $200,000. So you're going to be limited really with that one property, and it's normally the property that people live in, which is their principal place of residence. Here's an alternate to be able to build a big property portfolio. Instead of buying one property and putting both people on title, let's split each person up so that person A uses their $400,000 in borrowing capacity. They do it through a structure, so it could be a company like this, A Proprietary Limited, and they go out and buy a property for $300,000. So they still have $100,000 of serviceability left over, so there's that buffer there. And I'll tell you why that's important a bit later. And then person B does the exact same thing. You got a $400,000 borrowing capacity. You go out and buy it using a company, B Proprietary Limited, and you take that same $300,000 loan. So now each person A is only liable for $300,000. Remember up here, person A is liable for the full $600,000, so double. And then person B again is liable for the same. So you're probably thinking by now, if you're still watching, so what? Person A still only has $100,000 borrowing capacity because they've just used up $300,000 of their $400,000. But what about if I told you that this structure allows them to replenish their borrowing capacity so they can go out and get another $300,000 loan on the next property? So let's just say person A goes out and buys another property in this structure, double A Proprietary Limited. They're the only person that's responsible for this structure, and they buy a $300,000 property under this structure. They still have $100,000 in borrowing capacity left over from this property. But wait, this property they bought in A Proprietary Limited was also using $300,000 of their borrowing capacity. So now, instead of buying just one property and utilizing $600,000 in liability, now they actually have two properties utilizing $600,000. And when you set this structure up right and buy positively geared properties, this is actually how you build a massive property portfolio, by rinse and repeating the same process.